Good morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste Experience here at Namaste Village and wherever you are. That's the key. Doesn't matter where your body is or where you perceive your physicality, but to know that you are the beloved wherever you are. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. That beloved within each one of us. So I was thinking yesterday about going back in time to a, a particular point in my own journey, realizing when I went to Bosnia and Croatia in 1995, so 30 years ago, when I first went on that journey that became the book Emissary of Light. I ultimately discovered that this community that I had met and was involved with there, these mystics who lived in the mountains in a very secret location doing a very, very high meditation every day, that they were the remnants of what was called the beloved community. The beloved community was originally a community that was formed around the the teachings and the inspiration of John the Apostle. So at that time in the early Christian experience, of course, it was unformed, it was not organized like it ultimately would be way over organized, but at that time, you had different people like Paul and John and Peter and the other apostles sharing the teachings that they had received from Jesus, from their perspective, and communities would begin to form around them, even Mary Magdalene. And John the apostle and Mary Magdalene were very much aligned, and they formed what we could call more of the feminine energetic of the early experience of Christianity, as opposed to the more masculine, authoritative experience of Peter, who is seen as the first pope, and what ultimately what became the common thread was not in the beginning. It was much more feminine. It was much more open. So this beloved community uh, manifested itself in different ways throughout history and through other communities, the Bogomils in Bosnia, even the Cathars in France were a part of that lineage. So I was thinking about this, and then two things happened that really sparked the memory. The first I want to share with you now. I'm going to put this up on the screen real quick. So this is a bus. It says, "May peace prevail on earth on both sides." And this is my bus. When I started traveling around sharing all of this, I had a tour bus, and we had that painted on the side. And my friend Baraka, who many of you know, he and I traveled around the country in that big old bus. I consider that bus to be the most ridiculous, wonderful decision I ever made. It was it was really something traveling all over the country in a big diesel bus like that. And this picture was actually sent to me yesterday by a friend who I haven't seen in many years. She's in Minneapolis. Her name is CJ. And she sent this to me and said, I was going through my phone, and in on 9/11 or slightly after 9/11, I was driving somewhere. I forgot where she said she was, and she saw this bus and it reminded her of me. I said, not only did it remind you of me, that's my bus. Where did you get that picture? Where did you find that? So, and this is what we traveled in, sharing this story of the beloved community. And I need to check here. So I sent a text last night to Baraka asking him if he could make it this morning. So I didn't get a chance to look. Baraka, are you here by any chance?
Hello, good morning.
There he is. Good morning. So those of you who don't know Baraka, Baraka was a beloved member of our community here at Namaste Village. He's back in Massachusetts now. So when you see that picture, more than likely you were driving that bus because it was just the two of us. What memories does that stir within you?
Oh boy. Um Overwhelming. It was excuse me. It was a most memorable experience in so many ways to share that energy with little groups, big groups, huge groups all across the country, moving from place to place, just knowing that wherever we were going to pull in was going to be an amazing experience. There was never a time, no matter what it looked like to begin with, there was never a time where it didn't turn out to be uh, just a growing experience for me, over and over and over again. I I'm overwhelmed. I'm crying with the memory of all of that and all of those. I don't know how many people in this room were able to experience the bus tour with us, but it was every single time. It was uh the big one I remember was Columbus, Ohio,
Mhm.
where you decided you were going to dash off to the Middle East.
Yeah, I was off to Iraq again.
Yeah, and left me in charge of this big gathering.
There's about
Uh,
500 people were
uh,
gathered that I
yeah,
supposed to
and
be
uh,
with.
and there were some other speakers as well. And we we you took an international phone with you, and
Satellite phone.
we
Hmm.
were going to experience we were going to talk back and forth, and the group was the gathering was going to hear us through a speakerphone, but unfortunately they gave us the wrong phone number. So we finally got that straightened out, and I got to lead the group in song, and uh, we handed around the peace cloth, so that it was surrounded the entire room, and it just I kept getting higher and higher and higher. And when it was all over, I literally collapsed. I couldn't st My body couldn't stand it any longer because it was not something that was for the body. It was for the spirit, and my spirit just went, "Okay, body, you're done for now. Take a break." Uh, it was so amazing, so
So many
amazing.
memories like that.
Yeah,
You
yes.
mentioned the peace cloth, which for those of you who don't know, it was called the cloth of many colors, and it came from a dream that I had when I was in Kosovo during the conflict there. And we ended up asking people all over the world to take a piece of cloth from a shirt, something that they loved, to hold it in their hands and to pray with it, to put the energy of love into that piece of cloth and then to send it in. And in my this dream that I had, I saw this quilt. It was like a mile in length in my dream, and it was being wrapped around the UN building in New York. We began getting these letters with pieces of cloth, but pretty soon this quilt was a quarter mile long. Then before long, it was a half mile in length. And finally, it was when it was done, it was a mile long quilt made up of hundreds of thousands of little pieces of cloth. So as Baraka said, we toured around in the bus all over the country with that cloth. And I don't remember if the bus was with us when this particular thing happened, but I do remember that we at the end of a tour that I was doing, we were invited to do a concert on the West Lawn of the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. And it was a beautiful day, and someone had a very large section of that quilt. So we decided to put it on the ground in the form of a huge peace sign, like at least as big as this whole area that we see ourselves in here. Huge. There were hundreds of people, and we all were inside this quilt, this peace sign, singing and sharing, and it was so beautiful. The next morning, we received a call from the U.S. Capitol Police. They were not happy because when they came in the next morning, the area where this quilt had been, that area the grass had grown longer and greener overnight, leaving this huge peace sign embedded onto the western lawn of the U.S. Capitol. They thought we had done some covert action, which I guess we had. Anyway, Baraka, thank you so much. I wanted you to be able to be here to see that quilt. Any final comments before we move on?
Um, I'd do it again in an instant.
Well, the
I
fun thing
would.
for Baraka was that he drove that bus around for a couple of years, and then because of that experience, went and got a job at Disney World driving a bus. So it led to a whole career. All right. So that being said, speaking about the beloved community, sharing that message all over the country in that bus, that was all leading to something that I came across yesterday. Henry Nouwen, some of you may know. Henry Nouwen was a Dutch priest who was just a beautiful, beautiful writer and mystic. And yesterday I came across a book called Life of the Beloved that he had written. And I began reading this, and I thought this will be a beautiful place for us to begin our week. So I'd like just to share a little bit of the beginning of this book from Henry Nouwen. Ever since you asked me to write for you and your friends about the spiritual life, I've been wondering if there might be one word I would most want you to remember when you finished reading all that I wish to say. Over the past year, that special word has gradually emerged from the depths of my own heart. It is the word beloved. And I am convinced that it has been given to me for the sake of you and your friends. I first learned this word from the story of the baptism of Jesus of Nazareth. No sooner had Jesus come out of the water when he saw the heavens torn apart and the Spirit like a dove descending on him, and a voice came from heaven, "You are my Son, the Beloved. My favor rests on you." For many years, I had read these words and even reflected upon them in my sermons and lectures, but it is only since our talks in New York that they have taken on a meaning far beyond the boundaries of my own tradition. Our many conversations led me to the inner conviction that the words, "You are my beloved," revealed the most intimate truth about all human beings, whether they belong to any particular tradition or not. All I want to say to you is, you are my beloved. And all I hope is that you can hear these words as spoken to you with all the tenderness and force that love can hold. My only desire is to make these words reverberate in every corner of your being. You are the beloved. So let's just pause there for a moment. When you hear those words, you are the beloved, do they just whiz by as a lovely thought, or do they penetrate? Do they land where you are now? Are you able to accept that you are the beloved? It's not out there, it's not someone else, it's everyone else, and it's intimately you. Because as we know, in this experience, there is only one extension of the love and the loveliness of God. And it's you. And it's you, and it's you, and it's you. And it seems like that it's a multiple group of people, and it's all of us, but there's only you. There's only that one. And once again, this experience is an experience. It's not something that we can grok and get intellectually. And we try and we fail and we write books and we give lectures, but they never even come close to the spark that ignites within us when we feel it land. You are the beloved, the beloved. So what I would like us to try to see if we can get this to land even deeper. It's one thing to hear those words, you are the beloved. It's another thing to say them. I am the beloved. Most of you know that many years ago, I wrote a book called The Moses Code, and it's all about that name of God that was given to Moses at the burning bush, Ehyeh, Asher, Ehyeh, often or sometimes translated as I am that I am. And in that book, in the hundreds and hundreds of talks that I've given around it, I always ask people to breathe that name in. I am that. And the way that we would usually do that is kind of a circular breath where we would breathe out on the words I am and then breathe in on the word that. And then we claim by whatever that is for you, that love, grace. So we would be I am that. I am that. But today, I want this experience of being the beloved to really take root, to land. So I'm going to invite you to join me for about a minute, and that's all. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take years and decades and hours. It just takes the dedication and the decision to receive this. So how we're going to do it is we're going to do it together. We'll breathe out saying, I am. And then on the in-breath, you could say beloved. It'll be a little bit easier to say beloved rather than beloved, 3 syllables, but you can do it however you want, however makes most sense. So I am. Try that with me. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. Feel that even deeper. I am. I am. I am. Claim it now. I am. I am. I am. I am. 3 more times. I am. I am. Last time. I am. So now continue to breathe deeply, feeling the energy of knowing that you are the beloved now. Move through your whole being as you claim the truth of your reality. As you choose to know yourself as you are known by love, by God, by the One. You are the beloved, the single extension of the love and the loveliness of God. Receive that now. This might be a practice that you choose to engage in, even for a few moments a day, because it activates the heart. Yesterday, our wonderful minister, David, shared a story about being locked out of his hotel room on the balcony on a cold wintry night. And even though he realized intellectually that he may have an issue, his heart, he knew that the place to go would be to his heart, because he's well trained in heart math, and activated his heart to the point that there was never any fear, there was never any doubt, because he knew that he was the beloved. He is the beloved. And we can know that every moment of our lives, no matter what trials come into our awareness or difficulties or challenges, to simply remember, I am the beloved. Nothing outside of that love can touch me. This is who I am. This is who I am before the lights of heaven. So thank you for joining me in that. Thank you for sharing those memories with me and Baraka. And now we'll turn to you, Vicky, and hear what you would like to share about the beloved.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother James, Brother Baraka. Thank you, sisters and brothers. We are that beloved community. And it's a great example of how all love in any time frame is maximal. Whether it was 4,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 20 years ago, or today, love is maximal because love is all. It's the all. And when we take time to breathe into it, it's like I can see Baraka swooning and falling down. We swoon. And for me, we're in the age of recognizing I am that and living it with we are that. We've gone from an I culture to a we culture. It's not me, it's really a gracious, alive we, alive. And I do remember the bus, you parked it in front of the Quincy house, and I still have the cloth. One day I'll get it and put it out for everyone. But all those projects were projects of the beloved, of saying, that's all we are, nothing else, simple as that. We move from me to we. We are professional sisters and brothers together. We are the beloved community. And it's just like David when he's out on the porch, it's always available. Just tune to it. And not just tune to it when we're locked out, but tune to it as a way of life. That's what we're doing, as a way of life 24/7. Like Calico says, not two thoughts away from God. Tune into it because it takes care of everything here in time, and it spreads a feast of love and glory for not just those of us that are opening to it, excuse me, but for everyone here in time. It's a gracious umbrella that brings the vibration and the frequency of love into our everyday common experience of past the sugar, past the salt. Here we are. So that's all I want to say. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Baraka, for always tuning in at every age and bringing it to life and bringing a family, a gathered family, every day with every breath more and more into this direct experience. I love you. Thank you. Love you all.
Yes, thank you, dear. And I forgot to mention that when that quilt did grow to being a mile in length, we were in Joshua Tree, California at the time, and so we had to get this mile-long quilt to New York because from that dream that I had, we did receive permission to take it and wrap it. It was actually wrapped inside the United Nations building by hundreds and hundreds of children. And then the next day, we had to rush to Washington, D.C., where it was actually taken inside the Pentagon. And the day after that, it was wrapped around the U.S. Capitol building by members of Congress. So these are the things that happen when we trust that I am the beloved. I am miraculous. Miracles are natural. They're happening all around us every moment. We just have to know that I am the beloved. And when we truly know that, then we realize that I deserve all the gifts of heaven now, not in the future. Actually, Jet, wherever he is, he reminded me a couple of days ago of something that I guess I had said at some point, which was, you don't need to die to get into heaven, but you do need to truly live to get out of hell. And that's what we're doing. We're alive now. We are alive and breathing, and we remember and know that I am the beloved. So we have a minute or so. Calico, you want to just give us a few words to wrap us up?
Oh man, I'm just so moved by all of this. As you every time you say beloved, it's like, can I embrace love for this body called Calico? Can I embrace love for all avatars, including the avatar Calico? And it's like, it's Friday. So many magic things happen at Walmart on Friday for me. I ran into two of my buddies from this former community. They were instrumental in setting up the AI. And so we were talking about it, and I just remembered as I was talking to them that I had grievances with both of them at one time or the other, and they're not there now. They're not even remotely there now. And the reason I really get that is because I love me more than I love any grievance. And as long as I love me before any grievance, the grievances melt. And so I'm just so grateful. And I had just this huge gratitude hit at Walmart. And, when I look back, and I used to pick at Walmart, okay? So it's kind of like, and people still complain about Walmart. And as they're complaining, I don't have to say anything out loud. I just go, thank God I made peace with Walmart. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Calico. And boy, you hit on it right there. You hit it so succinctly. I love the I am within me more than any grievance. This is how I know that I am the beloved. Once again, because I love me, not the identity, not this avatar that's called James Francis or Calico or anyone else, but the truth, the I am presence. I love that as the beloved. And then I can see that and share that in all of you and everyone. And that's the key. Then give it away. Don't hold on to it. Don't try and contain it. Give it away. Be the source. And to that we say, Amen, 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 e punto. There it is. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Namaste.